Hey guys, it's Steven here and welcome to my full review of the Cubot X15. So I had a lot of fun testing this device here for the last week. Unfortunately, I did break the glass. You can see it here a little bit. I will later show you the crack. So half of the screen is not working anymore and we have to improvise a little bit to get to all the buttons. But I can still bring you a review on this device here. Now, I've got it from cellphoneage.com. The link is down below in the description, so make sure you check it out. I did an unboxing of this device when the screen was still in a good condition, and you can check it out on my channel, so make sure you check out the link down below in the description for the unboxing, so you can see close-ups of the device and what you get inside of the box. Alright, the specs also down below, and I would say let's get directly started and let's have a closer look at the Cubot X15. So guys, let me give you a quick overview over the smartphone and my personal opinion on all the components. So first of all, let's get started here with the front side, and we have here a full HD display, 5.5 inches, 400 pixel per inch. The resolution looks very good, it's IPS, has nice viewing angles, great colors, and also the maximum brightness looks very good. What I just don't like is that massive black bar around the display. Now on the left side we have 3mm, also here on the right side, and at the bottom we almost have 6mm of that massive black bar. And this is just too much. At the bottom, at least we have in there the capacitive touch buttons, like we have here the home button, the back button and the menu button. But it still looks kinda disgusting, and with the contrast to the white frame, I just don't like it. At the bottom there's just the bottom microphone here, but that's basically everything you can find in that white space area. Now at the top we have light and proximity sensor, in the middle the earpiece, which is really kinda big, and the speaker quality, so the earpiece quality was really good, so nothing to say about that, and also the 3G and 2G reception, I had no issues so far. Now the front facing camera, it has some issues in video mode, so it looks very crispy and noisy. That's definitely a firmware issue, but pictures look really good. So the front facing camera on this device is absolutely nice for selfies. Okay, so that's basically the front side. I already told you about the glass, so I don't think that the material is too good, but the phone is also kinda cheap. Now the frame, it's made out of aluminum. The whole phone is only 6.9mm thick, actually I should say thin, because it feels absolutely great. This phone is really super thin, just around 7mm, and on the right side of the frame, which you can see is also painted white, we have the buttons, like we have here the power button and the volume button. They're just slightly sliding around, just a little bit. Now the volume button a bit more than the power button, but it still feels good to press. Now, it would be better, in my opinion, if the buttons would be a little bit more stiff, but so far I'm happy with the buttons. On the other side, we have the two slots, so we have actually two SIM card slots, but you can decide if you want to use one SIM card slot as micro SD card slot. So you have the opportunity to use two SIM cards, so for business phone and your private phone, or just use one SIM card and extend your storage up to 64 gigs. I'm pretty sure 128 is also possible, but yeah, just make sure you format your card correctly. Okay, then let's have a look at the bottom side. Now the back cover, it's not removable. It feels pretty good. It's made out of plastic, but it has some kind of soft skin, and it feels actually pretty good in my hands. At the bottom we have the Cubot logo, the C certification and everything, and at the top, in the left top corner, we have here the rear camera, 60 megapixels, but I guess maybe interpolated because it drops down to 9.5, also pictures look quite average, and we have here the single LED flash. Now at the bottom side of the frame we have the micro USB port to charge it or to connect it to the computer, and left and right from that we have some little Torx screws, and you can open up the phone, but you would have to remove those two Torx screws, which is kinda hard to do without the correct tools. I mean, you could use a sharp knife, and if you really want to open it up you would have to separate the two case parts with a suction pad, and then you will see the battery inside and everything. Then it looks like a dual speaker design, but nope, there's only a speaker located on the left side. I mean, audio is coming out of both, but way strong out of the left speaker grid. So there's one speaker more placed to the left side, but audio is coming out of both, but only very slight out of the right speaker grid. Now I really like the feeling in my hands of the Cubot X15. So it's a very slim phone, but that doesn't mean that it's lightweight, because it's also a very big phone, but it's slim. So it's slim, it's not too lightweight, also not too heavy, so the feeling in my hands is really great. But it's kind of big, so you can find the dimensions down below, and if you have small hands, then maybe it could be a little bit too big for you, even though it's a very slim phone. But well, except of the black bar, I really like the design, and I would definitely go with the black version, because the black bar looks so disgusting here on the white version. But let's see how heavy this phone really is. And there we go, here's my scale, and let's put the phone on the scale. Well, there's some white powder on there, but don't worry, it's no coke. Or maybe yes, I don't know. There we go, and the phone weighs 174.3 grams. So this is actually quite heavy for such a slim 5.5-inch phone, but also I can definitely tell you the battery capacity is real. I've measured it, and now I would say let's just go and let's have a look at the charger and the battery capacity. Now the Cubot X15 claims to have a 2750 mAh battery, and I've measured here a capacity of 2591, but at 5 volts. So if you multiply that with 5, you divide it by the battery capacity of 3.8, and then you say 80% efficiency, then you get exactly 2730 mAh. So it seems to be definitely correct that the battery is 2750, and well, the only bad thing is that the charger which is included is total crap in my opinion. So it's no quick charging, and the maximum current the phone was actually taking from the charger was 0.8 amps. So it charges really slow. I even tried it with my fast charger here, so the phone only accepts 0.8 amps charging current, and this is really not a lot. So here also the proof, because a lot of people always ask, a better charger does not make a phone charge faster, only if your phone supports it, so if the charging circuit is optimized. Otherwise this is quite useless. But for now I can confirm the battery capacity of 2750 mAh in the Cubot X15. Now guys, as I've said before, I did break the screen, and actually it broke very easily. So I had it just in the car mount and I was accelerating. It was falling out of the car mount on my shifter, and boom, it cracked. So well, also half of the screen is not working anymore, so it actually cutted the digitizer right here in the middle. Now that's really bad, but I also think that the glass, it's not Gorilla Glass or anything, so it's some cheaper plastic glass, because it's not scratch resistant. We'll do a scratch test just in a second. And also the drop was really soft. Now I dropped my S6 Edge, for instance, a couple of times really hard and nothing happened, but here on the Cubot X15 it already broke the first time I dropped it, and that's not that good. Now it's very hard to do a scratch test on camera and catch the scratch, but we'll just try it. Here at the bottom maybe it's better, but I can tell you I don't think it's Gorilla Glass. It's quite scratch resistant, so I have to apply a lot of force in order to scratch it, but it broke actually quite easily, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but also something here went off, so I could scratch it here with my screwdriver. Now if I would apply the same force on my Samsung, I think I would just see a very slight scratch, but here I can definitely see one. Alright, that was just a quick test of the display, the glass material. So far so good, the display didn't break, so just the glass shattered quite easily. So guys, I now try to focus on the scratches, and here you can see them. So well, the glass material is really not the best, so I could scratch it with the screwdriver here pretty easily. So make sure when you get the smartphone, as soon as you unpack it, apply the screen protector. There should be one on the smartphone. I removed it, this was a failure, but there's a second one included, so if it wears out, then just make sure you replace it or get yourself a toughened, so a hardened screen protector. Alright guys, we're now here in Android 5.1 on the Cubot X15, and let me show you the UI and all the settings and everything. Now well, the launcher, as you can see, it's the basic launcher, so nothing has been customized here, but we have a different icon pack. And the icon pack reminds me a lot of the ZTE Axon Elite, so I think it's maybe even the same icon pack, so a quite popular one. Alright, that's basically the launcher for sure. We have here settings, wallpaper, widgets, and we also have multitasking in here with the cleaning button. And also for multitasking, the 2GB model is definitely enough right now, but the 1GB 1GHz model was really too slow. But this one here is also quite good for multitasking. Okay, so let's go here to the settings and let's see on which Android version that baby here is running. So let's go here to About the Phone, and here we can see it's Android version 5.1, and there we go. And here's the lollipop, and here comes the not working, yeah, here's the Easter egg. Okay, great. Then let's go back here, and well, what I wanted to say is there are wireless updates, and I already did an update, so it's currently on the latest version, but unfortunately I cannot access it because the top of the screen has broken. I would have to rotate it, but yeah, wireless updates are definitely working. Alright, Wi-Fi, we can just have a quick look at Wi-Fi. I hope this works. Alright, yeah. So yeah, I'm connected to my home network. Signal strength is good, 39 Mbits. Now on some other phones I get signal strength excellent, 65 Mbits. So I also experienced that the Wi-Fi range is for instance not that good like on my Galaxy S6. So Wi-Fi could be a little bit better, but it also gets the network of my neighbor, so it's average, but it's not really too good. We have Bluetooth, it's working, so there are absolutely no issues with Bluetooth on this device here. Also, we can find Hotnot in there, and Hotnot, it's basically like NFC but for MediaTek devices, and Hotnot allows data exchange when the screen touches another device, but only between other Hotnot-able devices, so other MediaTek devices. Alright, then here under more we have the usual stuff like tethering and mobile networks, so absolutely nothing special in here. Here in the display settings you can see mirror vision is included, so you can tweak your display, and that's basically everything which is fancy here in the display settings. Then here we have the storage, and yeah, it's the 16GB phone model, and we have here 11.6GB total space, and around, without the apps I've installed, around 10.2, 10.9 gigabytes usable. You can check it out in my unboxing, we had a look at that. SD cards are working, but I currently have no SD card in there, but later I will put a 64GB SD card in, and it works like a charm, so absolutely no issues. Alright, regarding the battery, now the battery, it's enough for one day. Geekbench says 7 hours, 7.5 hours of battery lifetime, which is definitely enough for me. Now, it's not more than a day, but the battery capacity is real. We had a look at that, so 2750, and for me with yeah, actually usually high screen brightness and late timeout, and also a lot of power use, it lasts around a day. So if you're a casual user, it could maybe last even 2 days. Apps running in the background, so let's check this out. And this phone comes with real 2GB of memory, and the optimization is pretty good because the ROM with some system apps in the background only consumes around 500-600 megabytes, and you still have 1.3GB of free RAM, and this is definitely enough for games and apps. And you see the ROM is also very clean, so there are no Chinese apps, there's no bloatware on there, which is a very good thing. Okay. We also have gesture sensing in there, and for instance, I can't switch it on right now, I would have to rotate it, but basically you have some gestures to unlock for the launcher, to start the radio, whatever you want to. Now here's also Smart Wake, so you can draw something on the screen, so off-screen gestures, and there's also double click to wake up, and some pretty cool things, which make the life easier. Okay, then let's have a look maybe at, yeah, where is it? Language and input, so there we go. And okay, I have to rotate it so you can see the languages, and there we go. You can see it comes with a lot of languages, not the full Android language pack, but really a lot, and the most important languages are in there. So you really don't have to worry that your language is not in here, but maybe the translation is sometimes a little bit bad. You know, it's the native Android translation. Oh shit, I just switched to Chinese. That's not actually what I wanted to do. Alright, I just found it, it was the world thing. Usually I never have a look at the symbols, and there we go, let's switch back to English. At least you see that this here is absolutely no problem. Alright, so it's multi-language, and yeah, that's basically everything we can find here inside of the settings, so not too fancy things. Then we can also have a look at the Android status bar. Now we have to improvise a little bit, so let's access the browser. Then we can have a look here at the notifications, as you can see, and we can access here the Android status bar with the brightness slider. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS is in there. And there's also a data connection quick toggle, which I really like. It's not on all phones. Cast screen and a hot nod button and all the notifications in there. And the screen brightness, it's really okay also to have a look at the screen outside. So I had no issues reading the screen also in sunlight. Okay, then we can just do a quick call, and there we go. So I can give you my opinion on the speaker and everything. And I had really no issues with the 3G and 2G coverage, so the reception was really good. And there we go, let's do the call. And the earpiece quality is really nice, but yeah, the main speaker, it could be better. Oh well, okay, crap. Now I don't know how to switch to the speaker, because if I rotate it actually, but yeah, we'll just test it later in the YouTube application with some music. But as you can see, sensors are working, and so far I can also say that 2G and 3G, so that was absolutely no problem. There are no disconnects, and also the reception was very good. So well, it's a bit tricky to get to all the things with half of the screen only, but here you can see the browser, and I have to say it's loading pages pretty fast, so rendering all the pages, and I had really no issues with that. And also the MT6735 does a pretty good job in gaming, as you will see a bit later. But let's enter the menu right now, and as you can see, it comes pretty clean. So all the apps you see here, that are actually apps I have pre-installed, but it comes with the Google Play Store, so all you have to do is just start the phone, enter your Google account, and there you go. So it comes with browser, calculator, calendar, and the camera. And now I would say let's go outside for a quick camera test to check out the camera quality. So guys, we're now here outside in my garden, and here's a quick camera test on the Cubot X15. So well, we're here in the default MTK camera application. On the left side we have, as always, different modes like panorama, picture-in-picture, whatever. Then here at the bottom we have different effects, like also all those hipster filters, whatever. Then let's go back, and at the top we can switch to the front-facing camera, but let's have a closer look here at the rear camera. Now the tap autofocus works also with the lighting adjustment, so if you focus here a bright area it gets dark, so that's pretty okay. Also the white balance works. Then we can just press the shutter here. So you see there's a little bit a delay between several pictures, but the shutter delay is quite okay. We also have here the video button for videos in full HD maximum. And we can go here to the settings, and in the settings, yeah, we can check out several things here under the camera settings. And the first thing is the picture size. Now it's now on 8 megapixels, but we can go up to 16 megapixels, and this only in 4:3. If we switch here to 16:9 or full screen, then yeah, it will drop down to 9.5 megapixels maximum. And also the pictures, they will look kind of strange, because the outer borders, they look a little bit blurry in my opinion. But well, you can just check out all the sample pictures on chinadevices.com. I will just upload everything. Here we have the video settings, so everything in here like noise reduction, EIS, then here the microphone is switched now to on, and the video quality, we'll set it now to fine for the tests. Okay, then let's switch here to the front-facing camera. Now, by the way, the rear camera shoots with a 2.2 aperture, and the front-facing camera shoots with a 2.2 aperture. No, sorry, 2.8. And I mean, just check out the pictures here. It looks actually really great. So the front-facing camera quality is absolutely nice. So this is almost like on my Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge, and this has a really good front-facing camera. Now, yeah, the front-facing camera is absolutely nice. You will also see a video with the front-facing camera, but it has some issues, over-sharpened, and it looks totally crispy. I'm not sure why. Seems to be a firmware problem. And well, the rear camera, it's quite okay, so I will give you now my opinion on it. Now the pictures, you can check them out on China Devices, so don't forget. They look okay, but I have seen way better cameras which claim to have even less megapixels. So I guess probably interpolated, also not the best lens, since the outer borders kind of blurry sometimes. But in 4:3 mode with maximum resolution, it looks quite okay. So just have a look at the pictures on your own, because camera quality always depends on, yeah, what image quality you like. So guys, there we go. Here's a quick back camera video test on the Cubot X15, and so far in preview it looks really quite okay. But well, it's already afternoon, so a bit dark, but the lighting adjustment works, as you can see. So here from bright to darker areas. And well, just check out some objects in the background. We can also zoom in a little bit. So, oh well, my screen is a bit broken. It's a bit hard to zoom, so this is how it looks like with digital zoom, and you can go up to 4 times magnification. And well, so here's my crappy car because my other car is currently, a bit broken. But let's have a look at some close-ups maybe, so you can see how close-ups look like. And there we go, maybe here the ladder. And wow, you can see here the ladder structure. So the focusing distance, the macro distance is around 6 centimeters or maybe even a bit less. Wow. That actually looks very good. So you can see here the ladder structure looks very nice. And yeah, so far I'm satisfied with the rear camera, but well, it always depends on what quality you like. And for me it's really okay, but just check it out right now for yourself if it's okay for you or not. We're still somewhere here outside of Vienna, and well, what's up with the front-facing camera? Now the lighting adjustment, okay, it works, but I look very crispy and strange, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but it has some problem with sharpening, I guess, so I look like a comic figure. I mean, I hope it only looks like this in preview, but if it looks like this also right now on the screen, then you see that there's something wrong, because have a look at the border here of my shirt. This looks very strange, so very crispy and noisy, and we're here on the latest firmware, so I guess it's a software problem, just like on the HII US3. I had basically the same problem, but it got fixed, and well, it looks very over sharpened, but you can also see things in the background, that's pretty good, but also the skyline here, for instance, in the background, it looks way too sharpened, noisy, crispy. Now the colors and the wide angle lens, it's very nice, also the resolution here in preview. But that over-sharpening problem looks really kind of strange, and it looks like there would be a white line around my shirt, but actually no, there is no line, and it's very strange here, so there seems to be some problem with the front-facing camera here in video mode. Filters look perfectly nice, but in video mode something is broken. So ladies and gentlemen, that was the camera. All in all, to summarize, front-facing camera very nice, but has problems in video mode. Rear camera, well, quite decent, but just average, not so special. Okay, pictures on China devices. Now, as you can see, it also comes with clock, contact, so basically the usual stuff you can find on every other Android phone. Also an FM radio is pre-installed. It's working, but you have to connect the headset. Regarding the 3.5mm headphone jack, sound is pretty good, but the gain could be a little bit higher, but that can be tweaked for sure in the engineering settings. Alright, second page, we have the Play Store, and let's have a look at that. So you see that's the latest version, so basically what you just do is, you start the phone, you enter your Google account, and there you go, you can start downloading apps. And it works because I have all the apps in here, as you can see, so it comes with all the Google apps pre-installed, like Google+, Google Settings, Maps, basically everything you need to operate the smartphone. Alright, so that's basically everything we can find in here, so that's the phone, that's the UI and how it performs. Now I would say let's do a quick LED flash test, speaker test, some benchmarks, and after all that you will hear my conclusion about it. As always guys, here's a quick LED flash test, and well, regarding the strength, I would say it's medium, but it's very nice white, so some cold white, and the pictures in darkness, they look actually quite okay, and you can find some on chinadevices.com. Here's a quick speaker test on YouTube. Now, providing a good speaker in a very slim smartphone is always something which is very hard to do. And I have to say, Cubot didn't do the job so well, but the speaker is quite okay. Now we can listen here to the speaker quality. But it pretty much oversteers here at maximum volume. It's not really loud. So well, the speaker is really not too good. And also, if I covered that here, you will hear that the sound is actually not that loud anymore, but if I cover that speaker hole, then it's still as loud as before. So well, it's only a single speaker, and the speaker is placed here on the left side. Now guys, here's a quick GPS test in the GPS test application, and the signal looks very good for the MT6735. As you can see, we have 20 satellites in view and we have 18 in use, so GLONASS is also supported and it works pretty good. And we have A3 defix, finds A3 defix just in a couple of seconds. Accuracy, well, 90 feet when I'm driving around 70 kilometers per hour right now, so this is also completely in the range. And you see we have a lot of green bars, so the signal level looks very good in the GPS test application. Then let's quickly switch to the Android's GPS test application, and there we go. And well, as you can see, we have 12 satellites here, so American ones, and we have 7 Russian satellites. All in all, we're connected to 18 out of 19 satellites with an accuracy of 17 meters when I'm driving 40 kilometers per hour. And well, here you can see the signal bars, and as you can see, also the signal here in Android looks perfectly nice, so very strong signal on the Cubot X15.
Kilometers.
So ladies and gentlemen, here's a quick navigation test in Cyjik offline navigation. Well, we're doing it here at night because there was no time during the day, but you know, it doesn't affect the GPS performance. Alright, and I have to say, GPS performance is absolutely nice. We had a really good GPS signal in the GPS test application. The new chipset, so the 1.3 GHz chipset also supports GLONASS, which sometimes didn't work on the 1 GHz versions of that chipset. But here you can see it works actually quite good. We can now drive a little bit faster, so my car says 70 kilometers per hour, now a bit less, so 65, and now it says 60, 63, so this is quite accurate. And we now pass the road here to the left, and yeah, it's lagging behind a little bit, but we also passed it here right now, and yeah, let's stop here at red traffic lights, so there we go, let's see how accurate that is, so if it continues, and boom, stops exactly. So really good GPS performance on the Cubot X15. Oh yeah, it's benchmark time, and first of all, let's get started with CPU set. So let's check everything out we can find in here, but well, I have to rotate the screen, otherwise we can't switch the tabs. Let's get started with the SoC. It's the MediaTek MT6735, clocking from 300 MHz up to 1.3 GHz, with the scaling governor inactive, and you can see here the CPU and GPU load. And we can have a look here at the device info, and here you can see that the display is really full HD. We can see the RAM. We only have a little bit RAM left because there's a game and GPS running in the background, and here you can also see the storage. Now let's have a look here at the temperatures, and you will see that the device is very cool. So 40 degrees, 45 maximum, with a game in the background. I did some gaming tests right now, and it absolutely, oh shit time, and it absolutely, yeah, I know, and it does absolutely not heat up. So this is really, really great. Okay, that's regarding the temperatures, and here you can see the sensors. Oh well, another add-in here, and here you can see it comes with an accelerometer, proximity sensor and light sensor. The magnetic sensor, so the magnetometer, is not working. It shows absolutely no value, so it's just a fake sensor. Okay, we are back here, and now I want to quickly show you the speed test results. Now this was on Wi-Fi, so my Wi-Fi is really kinda slow, and here you can see the 3G speed. So yeah, almost maximum I can get here, so 20 Mbits down, 3 to 4 Mbits up. So this is actually what 3G can deliver here in my country. And we can have a look here at the Android sensor box. So there we go, and here you can see the basic sensors, but we also have sound sensor and magnetometer, but the magnetometer just shows always 0 microtesla. So this is not working for sure. Okay, then let's have a look at the Antutu benchmark, and there we go. And it scores 25K pretty exactly, 64-bit support, so that is working, that's pretty great. Then we can have a look here at the device info. Now let me hold it like this. Here you can see Android 5.1, 64 bits, MT6735, the Mali T720 GPU, full HD resolution, 2 gigs of RAM, and 4 cores, 64 bits, running up to 1.3 GHz, 60 megapixel rear camera, 8 megapixel front facing camera, but well, the rear camera could look a little bit better for the megapixels. Alright, that's basically everything here in the Antutu test, and we can also have a quick look here at the Geekbench result, and here we get a single core score of 612 and a multi-core score of 1789. Now, not so fancy, so well, the scores here, they're actually not so good, but the chipset does everything pretty good. So for casual users, if you're not into heavy gaming, it's definitely a nice chipset and very power efficient. Okay, so that are basically the main benchmarks, and now I would say let's do a quick gaming test here with Real Racing 3. And there we go, here's a quick gaming test in Real Racing 3, and that game is actually very graphic intensive. That means you need to have a pretty good GPU in order to play that really smooth. And on the 1 GHz model of that chipset, it runs not really smooth, so it's really laggy, but here on the 1.3 GHz model, so of the chipset, it runs pretty good. And you can see that's a really smooth experience, also here with the medium details. And yeah, so far I'm really happy. We can also switch to the cockpit. Oh, sorry, and there we go. So you see, it doesn't matter which view of the camera we choose, it always looks kind of smooth and it's definitely playable. Also with a lot of cars here, like here in the beginning, there are like, I don't know, 16 cars or whatever, but it runs pretty smooth on the Cubot X15. So also for 3D gaming, even though it drains the battery really fast, it's a pretty nice device. Last but not least, I did take the phone apart to have a look at the internals, because I'm very excited how it looks from the inside. Now actually quite stable, so not only an outer metal frame, so we have here something like a chassis with some metal plate here on the inside. That's pretty good for stability. And this is how it looks with the battery removed. Removing the battery is easy, so it's not soldered. You just have here a little connector with a flex cable, and that's basically it. So you could even replace the battery on your own. The shielding on the inside looks very good. Vibration motors here at the top of the device, which is kind of strange. And yeah, here at the bottom we have the single speaker, so it's here on the left side. Now I can confirm that. And here's the battery, and here you can see it. And it's pretty lightweight for 2750 milliamp hours, but actually I've measured 2.5 on 5 volts, so if you calculate it with the watt hours, it should actually be okay. But the battery here itself, it weighs only, let's check the scale, and there we go. The battery weighs exactly 39 grams, so this is really not a lot. And here you can see the two IMEI numbers, they're actually here on a stick on the battery, but on the battery there's no capacity sticker, it just says here 3.8 volts. And here you can see the flex cable with the connector, and that's basically it. And this is what you can find inside of the battery. Well, as I've said, also some other websites, they get 7.5 hours in Geekbench. I mean, that's actually quite okay and quite decent. Okay, now this is how the phone looks from the inside. If you want to open it up, you have to remove the two screws at the bottom and then just lift off the back cover. It's quite flexible, and then you can access here everything from the inside. This is how it looks like, with here some stickers, radiation shielding on the inside. And yeah, that's basically the Cubot X15 from the inside. Looks quite decent to me, and now I will just try to get a new screen for it. So boys and girls, we're now here at the end of this review, and I had a lot of fun testing the Cubot X15. Now it's a very decent smartphone, even though there's some small things I don't like about it, like the front-facing camera in video mode, but the pictures look absolutely great from it. The rear camera could also be better. Now for 60 megapixels, well, I'm not sure about the sensor, but honestly the pictures, they do not look so good for the 60 megapixels. But the rest is very decent. We have a nice screen, we have good performance, we have okay battery lifetime. You have seen my stats, and you can also find a lot of Geekbench and battery tests. I will link you some down below. Then as I've said, gaming performance is also quite okay for the gamers. Now, the Wi-Fi reception could be a little bit better, but I had no problems on 2G and 3G, haven't tested 4G honestly. GPS reception was very good, the GPS test was also very nice, so nothing to say about that. Now the speaker is kinda crappy, and the design with the black bar also doesn't look so nice. So that are basically the things I actually don't like. Now, I'm not sure I forgot something for sure, but you will find my written review on chinadevices.com, so make sure you check it out. You will find the summary, the sample pictures and everything there, and you will find a link down below in the description if you're interested in this phone. So well, if you want to take this phone apart, you have to have a very small Torx screwdriver. Just do it like MacGyver, iTax tutor with a little knife, but you'll probably ruin your screws. So yeah, replacing the battery is possible. The battery capacity should be real, but the battery here is very lightweight. Now I really need to think about that. Maybe I had an error in my calculations, but it seems to be quite okay. Alright guys, yeah, that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching, then have a nice day, and don't forget to check out chinadevices.com and the link down below. Bye bye.